Africa currently accounts for the smallest share of global greenhouse gas emissions. It is at just 3.8% compared to China's whopping 23%. But climate risk remains a challenge to both its current and future development progress. According to research by the Brookings Institute, in a sample of 30 African countries, 2/3 are warming faster than the world as a whole, a trend expected to continue in coming decades.
Climate change agreement
Experts like Dr. Munang believe that developing and integrating key sectors like agriculture and energy will be key to balancing out environmental protection and economic prosperity.
10 million youth are graduating and entering into the labor market to compete only with about 3 million jobs. In the next 7 years, about 350 million youth will be getting into the labor market competing with fewer jobs. So to create these jobs, agricultural production cannot be seen as a standalone sector. Energy cannot be seen as a sector that is only producing energy for domestic use. It must be seen as an integral part of adding value to agricultural production. And this is already happening across the continent today, but it must be brought to scale.
Africa's embrace of renewable energy technologies, such as solar and wind power, is also playing a big part in helping the continent leapfrog older power generation technology. Small-scale renewable energy is starting to deliver the social and economic advantages of electrification to rural communities.
Yeah, Africa doesn't lack ideas and Africa doesn't lack innovative solutions. What is absent in the continent is lack of incentives. What is absent in the continent is lack of an inclusive framework that can be able to bring each and everyone together. And what is absent sometimes is that the institutions that are created sometimes don't necessarily work for the purposes in which they are created. As we're speaking today, the African continent is spending $3 billion every year for climate action against the $15 billion that the continent needs each and every year before 2020 to build climate resilience and ensure that the continent is robust enough to be able to withstand the already changing climate that is affecting the continent. But if you look at how this $3 billion is being spent by the African continent, it is still being spent in a socially driven approach. So what needs to change, which is very, very crucial for the continent, is that finance to be able to implement climate action cannot just be driven from a social perspective, but it must be seen from an entrepreneurial and investment perspective.
Already, countries like Ghana, Morocco, Kenya and South Africa are now integrating climate change issues into their national development planning and implementation across multiple sectors. Ethiopia has developed a climate-resilient green economy strategy and a climate finance fund within its Ministry of Finance for climate-compatible investments. Experts, however, say that ultimately data will be vital, and the capacity of policymakers to effectively implement and track performance will hinge on the availability, the timeliness, and the quality of data. Uche Okoronkwo, CGTN.